Hello everyone, just a little update on the golf cart. As you can see, it does not look the same anymore. I have changed quite a bit of things on it. I have made a few updates to it. So first of all, let's start with the rear body on this. So it does not have the fiberglass no more. It has this whole section here I have made custom with 16 gauge steel. So I have added a few things on the dash. Actually, just one thing. So this right here controls the idle and idle of the engine. Everything else over here is the same. Under here it is where everything has changed pretty much. So the big alternator is no longer right here. That's where I have my resistors now. So the gas tank is not here no more. Now I can put another battery in there, and the plan is to put another one over here when I switch to 40 volts. So it's gonna be 2 8-volts here, 2 8-volts over there, and 1 8-volt here, which would give me 40 volts. I have 3 relays on here. One of these relays, I don't remember exactly which one, is the only point where the 12 volt and the 36 volts will meet, but they don't actually meet. So if I have a short between the two circuits, it would be one of those relays, which I hope it don't happen. So I have 2 relays over here. This is what I control the, I guess you would call them enable relays, because that one down there, it went bad and I haven't replaced this, but I had those ones here that I was going to use for something else that I just ended up utilizing those 2. So on the back, to show you the back of it now, so you can take this seat right here, comes right off. So then you have the 12-volt battery. This is only for starting the engine, so it doesn't control anything else. All it does is control the engine. This right here is the throttle actuator for the engine. So on the bottom side down here, you can't really see, but I have 2 bolts right here. Those hold the fuel pump on the bottom side of this body panel. So I have a fuel tank here. The electric motor down there, actually you can see it better right here. So there's the electric motor. It's original. The power inverter is actually under this panel here, if you can see it down there. So that's, here's the other side. So it's actually mounted upside down. At this moment, this inverter is not working. I accidentally hooked it up backwards and burned it up. So I'm waiting to get another one. This one was a 48 volt inverter, which the one that I'm gonna be putting on here is gonna be a 36 volts inverter. This inverter here is rated for, like, I want to say 52 to like 40 volts is what you can run it in, and I was running at 42, so I was running at the lower spec for that inverter, which made it, I do not think that it was working to its full potential. So as you can see down here, so here's the exhaust pipe. Once again, the electric motor. And if you can see now, the alternator has been moved to the bottom. You can barely see it down there. Let's go over to the side. Okay. All right. Yeah, I have the old throttle cable is dangling down here still. All right. So I have not attached those wires, as you can see. So there's the alternator on the bottom. So I lost a little bit of clearance on it because of the mount that I made for my alternator right here. But I still have at least good 8 inches. This golf cart is not meant to go off-road. It just looks cool, I guess, with the lift. So let me go over to the other side so you can see the other side. Alrighty. So there's the other side of that alternator. Alright, and now the other change that I made to it, I used to run a single B pulley on the alternator in the engine. Well, I kept burning down pulleys. They were getting too high, too much load on them, I'm guessing. So now I have 2 B belts on a double pulley, on a double V belt pulley. I am not gonna start this video right now because it's still pretty noisy. I have put insulation on here to make it quieter, but it's still pretty loud. So the seat, I'm still using the old frame from the other one that I had before. Just made a few little changes so it would go down on here. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. Which is really, everything has been moved around. Trying to think about what else I changed. So now I have 2 tail lights on the back. When I made this panel, I had a spare light, and when I made this cover, I was only gonna put 1 of them. Well, then I had all that area right here, and I decided to put 2 on either side. So anyways, that's about it. If you guys have any more questions about this, I think I have answered everything. I still have to do a few more things to it. I have to upgrade the motor, the drive motor itself. It's a 36 volt right now, and when I run a 42, I think it gets a little hot and it starts to slow down, or it's just old. But I'm gonna be, in the future, I'm gonna be putting in a motor that is ready to run 36 volts to 48 volts. Hopefully that will take care of my issue. I want to switch it to an actual, I guess, solid state controller. Right now I have resistors, but I'm not sure how the controllers will handle the amperage that this alternator is able to put out. It's able to put out about, let me look down here to see, 380 amps at 42 volts. That's quite a bit. I also thought about doing lithium. I tried it just to see how it did, and it charges them way too quick. The amperage is way too much. So when I fully discharge this 3 batteries here, all the way, I think it's down to 24 volts. Yeah, 24 volts. And when I turn on the alternator, the engine and the alternator, it takes it about 15 minutes to fully charge those batteries. So that's quite a bit of charging amperage. And the controllers in the lithium batteries, they cannot handle that. So as of right now, the things that gotta change as previous is the electric motor. It has to be changed to a 36 volt to a from a 36 volt to a 36 to 48 volt motor that can run within those ranges and still have whatever the max power, so I won't lose anything. I want to upgrade to a solid state controller, which I'm not sure how it would do with the amperage and the currents, the changing voltage the alternator produces, because when you remove the load on this alternator, you can see the voltage spike all the way up to 36 volts. Then it comes down quickly all the down to 42 volts as you remove the load and add the load. I guess you could. I had someone on YouTube ask me about solar. I don't remember exactly the name, but he asked me if I could hook up solar to this, and it would actually not be too difficult. I think all you would have to do is just get to the positive and the negative on that battery right there, and just tie it separately. All the circuits here, I have actually 3 circuits that I can think of my top of my head. So I have the engine circuit, the 12 volts. I have the reduced 12 volts by the regulator, and I have the actual 36 volt that runs over here. So in those 3 circuits are completely separate from each other, with the exception of the regulator voltage. There is one relay, I don't remember exactly which one, I did not mark it, that I have the 36 volts and the 12 volts going to it. So the 12 volt solenoid is actually a 12 volt relay, which is switches to turn on the alternator. So I use 12 volt to turn on the relay that therefore turns on the 36 volts that goes to the alternator. And other than that, that's pretty much it. I haven't other than that, I have changed quite a bit on it, I guess. This body panel here is all, like I say, is all made out of 16 gauge steel. I think it weighed about, I would say, a good 80 pounds when I got done building it, which is a lot heavier than the original one. Well, if you guys have any more questions about it, just leave some comments. I do appreciate the comments and the subscriptions that I've gotten so far. So if you guys would leave more comments and stuff, that kind of gets me a little excited to make more videos. And I will do my best to answer them. I am not gonna do a parts breakdown on this yet. I'm still running in quite a few issues. Like I said, I done burned up the actual inverter. I burned up the inverter. I had to replace the regulator on the alternator because I underspun it and overheated it. That's fixed. That's the regulator itself set me back $500. The alternator itself runs about $3,200. So the easiest thing to do was buy the cheapest part on it. So I replaced the regulator on it. That actually did not fix it. I had to actually take the alternator itself apart, and I had to replace the button diodes inside of it. They're the ones that actually went bad when it got hot. But other than that, I think everything's doing pretty good. The issues that I've had with it is me making changes on it and not taking my time on doing it. So I only have about, I would say, probably 2 hours out of each day on the weekends to do this. I have a 3-year-old that loves to be where I am, and when I mess with this, it's 36 volts. It will shock you, and I don't like him messing with it when I'm working on it, because he likes to take the screwdrivers and put them in places where he don't need to. So once again, I do appreciate the comments and the subscription that I have. I wish I was getting more views on them, because it takes quite a bit of my time just to make a video. I am not editing them, so I can't take them in short little bits and pieces. So right now I'm actually taking this video while my 3-year-old is taking a nap. So if you guys can leave comments, like it, and subscribe, I will sure try to get more motivated and to post more about it. And I really appreciate all the ones that have commented and subscribed so far. And that's actually what made me decide to make another one, because I wasn't gonna make one until I actually got it fully finished. So, well, anyways, that's all. I can talk about it all day. If you guys will like it, subscribe, and leave comments, I actually enjoy the comments more than anything else. I would appreciate it. Have a good day. Bye bye.